Morning! Welcome back to Ecocentric. I'm going to make some ketchup. I have a ketchup recipe here. Of course, first step of making ketchup is to make tomato puree. What the recipe says is 2 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes, which amounts to about 7 cups. One of the things it's asking for is onion powder, a teaspoon of onion powder. Now, I don't have any onion powder. This is about a little over a cup full of chopped onion I have here, but that's the Elsa Craig, which is a really sweet onion. So what I've decided to do, because you put this in a slow cooker and you whisk it together, but of course you can't very well whisk up chunks of onion. To start with this, see, if these were full, it would be a 4 of these bottles, right? So, and I'm going to blend it together. That way this blender will puree those onion pieces. There, now that's blended together. As I said, it was 7 cups, but I don't know exactly how much I'll get out of this. Let's see. One cup. 2. I'll call that 3. Which is nice because if you remember back in the canning the tomato puree video, I have these 2 bottles that are full that I didn't actually seal. So there are 2 cups each. So that's 7 cups of tomato puree. Let's put in the white sugar first. Go in order. Two-thirds. Two-thirds of a cup of white sugar. We've got our onions put in there already. And a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. It says 1 3/4 teaspoons of salt and 1/8 of a teaspoon of celery salt. So I'm not sure how much salt that comes out to. I'm going to put sea salt in there. Eighth of a teaspoon of mustard powder. Eighth of a teaspoon isn't very much. 1/4 of a teaspoon of finely ground black pepper. 1 whole clove. That's not much to go in a 7 cups of puree, is it? But that's what the recipe says. And now I don't have celery. Is there some celery salt there on it? You know what? There is some celery salt. I didn't buy it, but let's just sprinkle some in. I can adjust the different tastes afterwards. 3/4 a cup of distilled white vinegar. You could use apple cider vinegar really, but I do have white vinegar here. And we should be able to make our own white vinegar. There is a way. It's just not popular for, it's easier I guess to make fruit vinegars. This is a 1/4 cup. But I'm going to learn how to make white vinegar at some point. Now we whisk that all together. The recipe says to cook this until it's reduced by half, and that will take 10 to 12 hours in the slow cooker, it says. And stir once every hour. So I've got it set on this crock pot. It says low for 10 hours. Power's on. Put the lid on, and like I said, I'll stir it once every hour and we'll see what it works out like. So, 9.5 hours. You can see the line where it used to be. So it is about halfway down, and that's what the recipe said, reduced by half. It's late at night now. So I'm going to turn this off. Replace the lid. Let that cool down to room temperature first, and then we'll check in on it again and see exactly how it is. So this is what happened as it cooled down overnight. When you're doing a recipe for the first time, you don't know what it's going to be like when it's cooled down. So remember last night it was a lot of liquid seemed to be up around, but when it cooled down, it's consistency of regular ketchup. But you've seen that that's rather chunky, and a lot of times you'll have, if you're doing it from your own tomatoes, you'll have bits of skin in there, the seeds will be in there, etc. So what they suggest, if you want a nice smooth ketchup, is to take one of these and press the material through it, and that'll take out all your seeds and any bits of core and skin that's in it, and you'll end up with a nice smooth ketchup going out through. Now I'm not going to bother with that because I really don't care that it's chunky, but that is what you would do if you're wanting a nice smooth ketchup. I'm going to put this in a, should fit in a 1 liter bottle, and put it in the fridge, and it should last like regular ketchup. Remember, we put vinegar in there and some other preservative stuff, so it should last like your regular ketchup that you would buy in the store. The other thing is, this doesn't taste like the regular ketchup, but that's a matter of adjusting the ingredients. I think what I have here, I need a little less salt than I put in. However, I made some grated potato and onion this morning. I didn't put salt on it, and I just put that ketchup on it. It was really good, but in reality I would have liked to have more salt. I should have put some salt on my potatoes, even though the ketchup that I've made is a little bit salty. So it's a matter of, once again, personal preference, and you get to this point, you taste it, you adjust those ingredients that you're putting in as powders to your own personal taste. So that's ketchup. In my opinion, it's a success. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.